All right, let's dive into something that's behind pretty much every cosmetic, cream, or lotion you use, but, most of us have never even heard of it. It's called the Product Information File, or PIF for short, and it's basically the secret document that holds the key to a product's safety.
I mean, think about it for a second. It's a pretty fundamental question, right? You grab a product off the shelf, you're putting your trust in that brand. But what's the actual system that's backing all that up? How does a company actually prove its product is safe for you, for your family? Well, the answer isn't just in some glossy ad. It's tucked away in one single, super important document.
And that document is the PIF. Honestly, the absolute best way to think about it is like a passport. Before any product can travel from the factory floor to the store shelf, it needs this official file. It's got to be stamped with every single piece of vital information, proving its identity, its quality, and most importantly, its safety. It's literally the product's entire life story, all in one place.
So to really get a handle on what makes this passport so important, we're going to break it down. Think of it like 4 key chapters. We'll kick things off with the product's origin story, then we'll get into the quality equation, uncover the hard proof of its safety, and finally, we'll meet the official guardians of the PIF.
First up, the product's story. This is where every PIF begins, with what you could call its administrative core. This is basically the About Me section that answers the most basic questions. What in the world is this product? What's actually inside it? And what does it promise to do?
Yeah, this whole foundational section is kind of like the product's official ID card. It details everything, and I mean everything, from the exact formula and the manufacturing process to the specific claims they're making on the label. Heck, even the packaging has to be documented to prove it properly protects what's inside. This is the absolute bedrock of the entire file. Okay, next up is the quality equation. Once we know what the product is, we need to prove it's actually made well. So now we're shifting gears from administrative paperwork to some real, hard data, focusing on quality not just at the end, but at every single step of its journey.
And let's be real, quality never happens by accident. It's always the result of just meticulous tracking. So the PIF has to contain concrete evidence that quality was checked and checked again at every step, from the second those raw ingredients show up at the factory to the moment the final product is sealed and ready for you.
This brings us to the 2 sides of the quality coin. First, you've got the raw materials data. This proves every single ingredient is pure and meets the right specs. Then you have the finished product data, which confirms that the final lotion or cream is stable, it's safe, and it performs exactly the way it's supposed to. And you absolutely cannot have one without the other. It just doesn't work.
Now, we've arrived at what is arguably the most critical section of all, proof of safety. This is where all those claims you see on the bottle have to meet the cold, hard reality of scientific evidence.
Every other piece of information in this PIF, the descriptions, the quality checks, the manufacturing processes, all of it leads right here. It all exists to support one single non-negotiable promise. This product will not harm you. And this section, this is where they show their work.
And that proof comes from some really rigorous science. We're talking about toxicological profiles that assess each ingredient's safety, microbiological tests to make sure there's no nasty bacteria growing in there, and stability tests so you know the product won't go bad on your shelf. And if a product claims it's hypoallergenic, you better believe the hard evidence for that claim lives right here in this section. So we have this massive, vital document, but who's actually responsible for it? Who's making sure it's all correct? That brings us to our final section, the guardians of the PIF. Because this isn't just a file, it's a real, active responsibility.
And this is so crucial. A PIF isn't something that gets created once and then just filed away in some dusty cabinet. No way. It's a living, breathing document. If an ingredient supplier changes, or the manufacturing process gets an update, or some new safety data comes out, the PIF has to be updated immediately to reflect that new reality.
The life cycle of this whole responsibility is pretty clear. It all starts with creation, where a qualified safety assessor or a whole team pulls all the necessary data together. Then comes the continuous maintenance, to keep it current with any and all changes. And finally, there's the big accountability check. Regulatory authorities can demand to see that PIF at any time, just to make sure the company is always upholding its promise of safety.
So when you really boil it all down, the product information file is so much more than just a regulatory headache for companies. It is the physical manifestation of a brand's promise to you, the customer. It's the passport that proves a product is actually worthy of your trust.
And that leaves us with a pretty fascinating final question, doesn't it? If this file truly is a product's passport, proving its safety and its quality, should that passport be public? Should it be available for all of us to see? It's definitely something to think about next time you're walking down the shopping aisle.